Comes the right wing. Kurt Schlichter on.
I'm sure he had that take when it came to getting Roy Moore elected in the Senate in Alabama.
No,
right?
Look, the right wing loves pedophiles.
They love it.
And I'll explain that in a second.
They love it.
So then Tim Pool responds, because there's no end to the depravity of
right wing media.
Club Q had a grooming event.
How is it a grooming event? It's a drag show at a.
Mind your own goddamn business.
There's no kids there. Consenting adults can do whatever the hell they please. They don't need your goddamn permission.
Oh, come on, what's the matter with you? I'm eating here.
Oh, do we need permission from grifters now to enjoy our adult lives? Is that what we need?
I need permission from Beanie Boy Tim Pool.
To go to a drag show?
And by the way,
shut up and sit down, Tim. How about that? How about that? Always involved in everyone's personal life and personal business. Didn't say a peep when it came to Roy Moore fondling 13-year-old girls.
How about that?
How about that?
And don't give me any of that garbage about how.
No, I'm not on the right. I'm not on the right. I just spew right-wing propaganda all day and all night.
I'm not on the right. Shut up and sit down.
I'm not debating that. He's in
Beanie Boy.
Monstrous right winger. He's a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, he's oh yeah, look, I'm jaywalking, I'm progressive. But I think we should all gay people are pedophiles and groomers.
And we should all attack them and just do all these horrible things.
so we can goad our lunatic audience. You all have lunatics in your audience and you weaponize them and you know it. I mean, look at him. I'll finish the tweet to be fair. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming, he says. Oh, in other words.
Well, I didn't quite like the way he murdered all those people, but hey, I really like the fact that he attacked
these people that I'm calling groomers.
These people that I'm calling groomers.
Based on nothing. I mean, he said it, Club Q had a grooming event. He said,
it's not a goddamn grooming event, you monster.
Okay, so what is a drag queen?
A drag queen.
A drag queen.
A drag queen
is someone who dresses in a way you don't like.
Are
you insane? Are you insane? Why do you care how they dress? Why do you care?
You should go.
Maybe we don't like the way you goddamn dress with your stupid dumb beanie, okay?
Beanie Boy.
And they say, I know somebody should do something to stop Tim Pool.
He's wearing a beanie. He's a monster. He probably molests little kids because of his stupid beanie.
They love it.
Unlike you, we're not monsters.
I'm sick of these right wingers. Look at it, they're almost celebrating it. I mean, he nearly brought goddamn pom-poms.
Goddamn pom-poms.
To the shh. So let's be super clear. I mean, let's talk about what do we know about the number one is Catholic priests. One of the most conservative professions in America. Right wingers, Republicans.
Catholic priests.
And they're always concentrating.
Oh yeah, a Catholic priest said that Nancy Pelosi or Joe Biden couldn't have community.
Catholic priests are the best, they say.
And the Boy Scouts, by the way.
Boy Scouts, they love the Boy Scouts.
They love it. Right wing compared to the Girl Scouts.
Nest of vipers and groomers. And the right wing's like, yes, I love how they molest the little kids like that.
I'm not listening to you, you're crazy.
Go get him, Boy Scouts, go get him, please.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You are dead wrong.
Well, okay, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump says he's a great friend of mine. He said, I know he likes them young.
He said, I know he likes them young.
They love it.
He said it.
Yep.
And Tim Pool, did you say, hey, Donald Trump is a monster who supports groomers? No,
Donald Trump's his daddy, right?
Yeah.
He's your daddy, right? Tim Pool, you love your daddy. Daddy can do no wrong.
You love your daddy.
And every step of the way, all the Republicans circle the wagons. Roy Moore, our molesters are awesome, they say.
Please vote for our molesters and our
groomers. Republicans say, Republicans, you're guilty.
So, you don't like it? Does that hurt your feelings?
And then I'm supposed to care about your
goddamned feelings?
He said it, he talked about how Club Q were groomers after they were fucked. The right wing are monsters. Non-stop they're thinking about kids. I guarantee it. The reason Tim Pool wears a beanie
is because he's trying to contain the pedophilia that's in his head.
That's why he's always talking about it. He's seeing it everywhere. Why? Yeah, because he's projecting. Oh, Tim, did your feelings get hurt? You call everybody groomers and pedophiles, and you have no concern knowing full well there are lunatics who can't wait to murder them in your audience.
Yeah, no, you can't say that about me.
Oh, I can. I don't know. I don't know that if you are. I do know you show all the signs of it.
This is Tim Pool's bread and butter. They love it. This is how he makes his money. This is what a
small faction of rabid right-wing zealots
eat up. This is what they want for dinner, and this is what they consume on media, and that's what Tim Pool and other goons like him provide.
Wow, you guys are such populists because you dress like
Bums.
Wow, you're so populist, okay?
You're not populist. All you are is glorified
Bums.
groomers,
trash,
fluffers of the powerful. Ironically, Tim Pool is on his knees every single day
servicing
corporate executives.
Oh yeah, everybody hate the little guy, hate the average man. I'm such a populist because I hate gay people and black people and brown people, right? Oh yeah, but corporate CEOs, I love you guys. Have I done enough?
No, you've never done enough.
Get on your knees again, Tim. And Joe Rogan and Crowder and all of you. Get on your goddamn knees for corporate executives that you serve.
You love your daddy.
Just focus on the culture wars and drive the hatred. Because Tim's getting paid and so are all the other
monsters in the right wing. They're terrible human beings. Bums.
They love it.
Mind your own goddamn business.
Truth Social has been very, very powerful, very, very strong. And I'll be saying that, but I hear we're getting a big vote to also go back on. The problems are incredible. The engagements are negative. And you have a lot of bots and you have a lot of fake accounts, which I think they should get on.
There you have former President Donald Trump pretending like he doesn't care about Twitter.
Truth Social is not doing really well.
And Trump's following, again, it's not even quite 5 million. It's 4.59 million on Truth Social versus the 80 million on Twitter. So my prediction is probably by tonight, probably by the time you watch this video, Trump's already posting on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Anna's also right that he might not be able to help himself anyway.
Exactly.
But I guarantee you that his advisors have told him a couple of dozen times. Now, Mr. President, remember, we have this SPAC that we're doing, and the whole value of this Truth Social, and yes, it's called Truth Social, not
Trump the social, Truth Social.
Okay, and the reason they have to tell him dozens of times is because he's
dense
and he's irrationally like a child. He's impetuous. He's like,
I want to be on Twitter. Oh, that looks kind of naughty. I want to do that, right?
So they have to say, Mr. Former President. Oh, sorry, you're still president. Sure. Whatever you need. Remember, the whole value of your company is dependent on you being there, so that all the right wingers come there.
He's going to be posting on Twitter.
There's no way he's going to.
He's going to post on Twitter. Like, you think?
And I'll give Musk credit for this. He's basically going,
come here, little boy.
He's basically dangling candy in front of him while saying, come into my white van, you'll love it in here.
And Trump's like, oh, candy, somebody said candy.
Okay, so of course he's gonna do it, he's a moron.
Yeah, so we'll see how it all plays out, but I find it all very amusing. And look, anyone who's still on Twitter who might be hyperventilating about this, stop hyperventilating. As soon as Elon Musk actually went through with buying Twitter, which was kind of shocking, I had no doubt that eventually Trump was going to be on it.
But I want to agree with you on one other thing. The media hyperventilating.
Hyperventilating.
Okay, I got it, guys. He bought it. Move on. And he's like Trump a little bit too. He's a rash little child. He's like,
oh, advertisers, don't worry. I've got to put together this wonderful blue ribbon council, and I'm not going to decide who's going to be on. They're going to decide.
and then he's like,
nah, I'm impatient. I want to do it now. I want to do it now. Trumpy, you're back. You're back.
and then he does a stupid ass poll of his own right-wing followers.
It's a very serious. It's a very strong poll.
It's a very strong poll, but the engagement is negative. It's negative 13. That's what people are saying. I don't know what that means.
I mean, Twitter seems to be chugging along.
No, yeah,
right.
Look, I don't know. I don't know if and when it's going to fall apart, but it's. I can't believe it. On the last thing on the mainstream media, hyperventilating. They're like, oh, can you believe this? Advertisers are not going to go back for this kind of immaturity and putting Trump back. And I'll be honest, it's Don Lemon on CNN that said it this morning, right? Okay.
Come on.
But Don, you live in a glass house. CNN propelled Donald Trump to where he is today.
CNN hired a bunch of Trump administration officials to be contributors. What are you talking about? What are you talking about right now? No, I can't with these people.
And the reason is because they're mainstream media and they look down their nose at any kind of new media, including social media. And they're
like, oh, Twitter is so unserious. That's not where serious advertisers should go. They should know here at CNN, we value advertisers way more than anyone else on the planet. That's why, for example, we'll lie on their behalf and try to torpedo Medicare for all so that they could charge higher drug prices. Do you see how morally uncompromised we are at CNN?
Please, spare me.
I think you're starting to believe in your own bullshit, Hogan. If you actually think that I was just the right guy.
Last week, Donald Trump decided to sit down
to have a nice dinner with Kanye West and well-known anti-Semite and racist
Nick Fuentes.
Now, very few figures on the right have felt comfortable speaking out against Donald Trump, but Ben Shapiro actually did. Shapiro says, nice dinner, a good way not to accidentally dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you don't know is not to dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you do know. And I actually think Shapiro's being very generous to Trump in assuming that Trump is telling the truth by not knowing who Nick Fuentes is, not expecting Nick Fuentes to show up. I don't believe for a second that Trump is telling the truth. He knew Nick Fuentes was gonna be there. He knows who Nick Fuentes is.
No, he was involved. He was involved in January 6th and was a huge supporter of Trump. 7 of his
gropers or whatever they call them.
Trump knows all the people that were involved in that. But at the end of the day, I think Shapiro's tweet is the most relevant one.
And it's the only thing I've ever retweeted of Ben Shapiro's in my life.
But it's true, like if you invite Goebbels, you shouldn't be surprised Hitler showed up to dinner. And so is that too harsh a comparison? Not really. Kanye West has said just as anti-Semitic things as anything you could imagine. If you dine with Kanye West and as Trump has said now many times afterwards, he was happy to dine with Kanye West. He claims he doesn't know Fuentes, but he's like,
oh, well, why wouldn't I dine with Kanye?
So he's saying, if you're a vicious anti-Semite, I don't mind at all. In fact, bring your anti-Semitic friends along as long as you said nice things about me on Tucker Carlson's show. So keep it real.
In fact, to your point regarding Shapiro's treatment of Kanye West in the past, I think this video is telling. So here's a video of Shapiro defending Kanye West. When is this? Let me be.
A month ago.
A month ago.
I really don't care about people's response to that. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
Wow, I mean, frankly, it sounds fantastic. Frankly, Kanye sounds much more sane than virtually everybody else in public life.
Ben, you gotta shave that, I'm sorry.
Side note.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you say that, anyway. So he knows Kanye West is deeply troubled. He knows Kanye West has said terrible things about people. He's like, hey, it wasn't my people, what do I care, right? That's the whole point with a right winger.
They never ever have empathy for any other human being.
The right wing are monsters.
Yeah.
The minute it affects them, can you believe Kanye's hateful?
But
yeah,
you know
that's what we
though?
told you.
Whatever, I'll freaking take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Whatever, I'll freaking take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
It is what it is.
And by the way,
there are still so many right-wingers who provide cover for Trump and still won't speak out against Trump because they're terrified of daddy.
Because they're terrified of daddy.
And he's only half standing up for himself and for his family, etc. He's still hiring the biggest anti-Semite in media,
Candace Owens,
who keeps fluffing Kanye West to this day, right? Oh my God. Trump said there was very fine people on the Nazi side in Charlottesville, and still Shapiro was like,
yeah. On the other hand, all of my viewers are vicious racists and probably anti-Semites. And so I'm still making money from Trump, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, look, my read of it is that Ben Shapiro has never liked Trump.
Donald Trump is a liar.
Ben Shapiro has never liked Trump.
I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I do think that Ben Shapiro genuinely has disliked Trump from the beginning.
no, but that
And
makes
now
it worse.
feels, I know, I agree. And I think now feels more comfortable speaking out against him.
But I am amused by Kanye saying, you're taking 100,000 from one of my opponents. At first I was like,
I know.
opponents in what? Are you doing a rap battle with someone?
He thinks he's a formidable presidential candidate for 2024.
So he thinks DeSantis is his opponent in the Republican primaries for president. Jesus Christ, man, what a clown.
You can take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because they're terrified of daddy.
NBC News is reporting that the
anti-Semites
who Trump dined with, including Nick Fuentes and Kanye West, were actually setting him up, trolling him. At least that's what the anti-Semites claim. Now, Trump received a lot of backlash, as we know, for having this dinner with these anti-Semites in the first place, and he immediately jumped to damage control.
So, congratulations on that.
Trump advisors, though, who spoke to NBC, think that this is all part of a setup. But I'm dying to know, Cenk, are you buying this? Do you think that this was a setup to troll Trump?
So I'm not buying it 1%, not at all. Okay, but I agree with Anna. If it was true, then Trump is even dumber. Okay, saying now remember our boss is
an idiot.
And he got tricked by Kanye West,
who is obviously one of the dumbest people in the country. So you got tricked by that guy? You got tricked by that guy, by the village idiot, right?
And so how does that help your cause? But the reason I don't believe it is because Kanye is the village idiot. And so the idea of him tricking anyone, I mean, you're tricking Kanye West. The guy is like IQ's 7. It's not in the double digits. If you told him, hey, let's go trick, he wouldn't even understand what you're talking about. He's one of the most painfully stupid people I've ever seen in public life.
Well, Milo's claiming he's the architect of
So,
this.
okay, that's a little bit more believable. Milo's an evil guy, but not quite as dumb as Kanye or Trump, okay?
Dumb enough to defend pedophilia on Rogan's podcast, but I
Which did
digress.
get him banished until now, and Kanye's brought him back, and Trump has brought him back. Congratulations, you guys must be so proud, okay? And it does go along with the right wing promoting groomers. So anyways, but back to the so-called trick. How is this a trick? So you get Trump to seem like he's in cahoots with you guys. How are you going to win? How does that make you more popular? How does that make him less popular? Is the trick,
Haha, we got you to be as unpopular as us, and that's why we're gonna win the election against you?
So Milo is saying, we acknowledge that we are such awful, terrible people that this would lead to backlash for Trump.
Like the admission, the inherent admission there that's baked in is incredible.
That's a brilliant point by Anna. But like, it's amazing to me that people don't understand concepts like that. But I think that all Milo's doing is trying to get back in the game. And
1000%. Yes.
So he's not just burning Trump, he's burning Kanye.
He doesn't care.
And he doesn't care at all. But to be fair to Milo,
I mean, look, who wouldn't rob Kanye? And who wouldn't rob Trump?
I've got another confession to make.
Put me in a room with him. I'll walk out with $1 billion before you know what hit you.
I mean, I don't know if you heard, Kanye says that Jewish people froze his bank accounts after he didn't pay his taxes.
What a moron. What a moron. Doesn't understand anything in the world. Like, do you guys not understand what Trump is mad about? Trump isn't mad that Kanye is an anti-Semite. He's declared after dinner that he had said nothing anti-Semitic.
Oh, snap.
He isn't mad that Fuentes is racist. He never denounced Fuentes at all, right? He hasn't denounced Milo. He hasn't denounced any of them. Okay, so the thing that Trump is upset about is that Kanye asked him to be his VP. You have two dum-dums talking to one another.
It's incredible.
They both live in a completely alternate realities. And Kanye is like,
okay, I'm so obviously gonna become president. Trump, do you want to be my VP?
And Trump, meanwhile, is like, oh, how dare you?
Why? Because he's anti-Semitic and your daughter and
He's like,
how dare you think you're above me?
He was upset because Kanye had a bigger ego than him.
It's amazing. It really is.
Yes.
I'll just keep it real. I retweeted your tweet about this whole interaction that we're having now. And I knew it was gonna happen. Inevitably, there's comments about like, how could you talk to Vosh this, Vosh that? Like, don't police me. Don't tell me who I can and can't talk to. Like, it reminds me of my mother, like giving me these ridiculous rules when I was a kid, and I would ignore those rules. And I'm gonna do the same thing in this regard, right? Like, don't tell me, as an adult, as a 35-year-old woman, I'm not allowed to have a conversation with Vosh because you don't like him.
Like, I hate that kind of stuff, and we need to, like, really knock it off.
I'm Ye. Welcome to America First. We got a great show for you tonight.
Kanye West was opening for
Nick Fuentes' show.
And if the green screen situation is any indication of the quality of that show,
not a great show. Not a great show.
But it's more than the tech issues. It's also the fact that Nick Fuentes is a
giant pile of garbage.
Now, on November 22nd, Kanye was spotted at the Miami International Airport with Fuentes. The two were traveling to Mar-a-Lago to have dinner with Donald Trump.
Because of course.
That was amusing. Let's watch.
Most perturbed about me asking him to be my vice president. I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact that I walked in with intelligence. So Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes, unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist.
Imagine being one of the top artists in the country and then devolving into that.
But Cenk, this, in my opinion, is the least surprising development of all time. I feel like 2024 is gonna be, in some ways, a repeat of 2016.
Yeah. Well, look, Trump's a white nationalist, and everybody keeps getting surprised that he hangs out with white nationalists.
Yeah, exactly.
So remember, during Charlottesville, they chant, "The Jews will not replace us," and he said
there's very fine people on both sides.
So we're surprised that he's meeting with like neo-Nazis. He said that there are very good people on that side. And I know what the big defense is from the Trump people. No, he was saying that about the people who love the Confederate generals that whipped and murdered and lynched black people. He said there were really good people on that side celebrating those wonderful guys. He celebrates vile racists and bigots, both from the past and today. Okay, so now Kanye, being the self-hater clown that he is, he's like,
oh, you think black people are inferior? Oh, great, wonderful. I got this great guy, Nick
Fuentes. Fuentes.
And I'm gonna bring him to the other clown that I know.
And it's a three-ring circus.
Neo-Nazis are walking in like la 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 la. No big deal, walking around the place.
You're just willy-nilly meeting with randos at Mar-a-Lago. Really? Really?
I mean, really?
Wow. Kanye is a mentally unwell person. When he brings a guy you don't know to dinner with the former president, not just Trump, but Secret Service, to Anna's point, should be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't know this guy at all. and he's being escorted by a well-known lunatic.
Right.
Right? But the problem is,
everybody in the house is a lunatic.
but Trump assures us that at that dinner, Kanye was not at all anti-Semitic.
Thank God.
And
I mean, that makes it all better, right?
yeah.
So let's show you why. Yeah, why people would, I don't know, not be so happy with Trump meeting with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes.
Fuentes.
There's just a little taste
of who Nick Fuentes really is. Gee, I wonder why people would be upset.
And Kanye asked Trump to be his VP. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Not completely detached from reality. Guys, you don't know Trump?
They know.
You know.
They know.
You know. And Trump himself has said 1,000 anti-Semitic comments.
You know.
Yep.
And you love to hide behind the fact,
Oh, his son-in-law is Jewish. Oh, yeah, some of his top advisors are Jewish.
you know, Fuentes.
not a great show. Not a great show.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Tim Pool hosting notorious anti-Semites and racists like Kanye West and Nick Fuentes wasn't the win that he was hoping it would be. Kanye walked out of the show after Tim Pool
barely
pushed back kind of on some of his anti-Semitism. But challenging comments at
Nick, I mean, I can't believe people call you racist. I mean, you're advising Kanye West. I mean, would a racist do that?
Good job laundering the reputation of a well-known
anti-Semite and racist.
Good job. You did a great job there. Fantastic.
Yeah. And then what does Tim Pool do?
He's like, well, I mean, you're working with a black man who also thinks wears White Lives Matter shirts, says so, is an infinitely stupid man who's mentally ill, pushing white supremacist agenda.
And Tim Pool launders that to, well, obviously you're not racist, Fuentes.
Some of your best friends are black, right?
Yeah. And by the way, when he said that, Fuentes' face was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, well, of course you're not racist. He's like.
But apparently that level of ass kissing wasn't enough for Kanye. So why don't we take a look at how that worked out for Tim Pool?
Who is they though? We can't say they is, can we? I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking about
them though, isn't it? I mean, because because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not? What do I mean? Okay, so how about? Are you leaving? Are you afraid of the press? Make sure he's cool. All right, go for it. Luke and I will have a conversation.
Okay, so Jake, I know you've got a lot to say about that particular clip and the cowardice that's displayed there.
The snowflake behavior.
You can't even handle the lightest disagreement imaginable, okay? But what did you think was gonna happen, Tim?
Yeah, you idiot.
I mean, did you think you were gonna have an exchange of ideas and Kanye, who has a obvious mental health issue and has said all the obvious anti-Semitic things.
You think the media's been unfair to him? What exactly? I want to know, Tim. I really want Tim to answer this question, okay? I want Tim to tell me what exactly a person needs to say, yes, verbalize, for you to admit or agree that that's anti-Semitic.
Jared Kushner right next to Donald Trump, Rahm Emanuel right next to Obama. See?
What exactly does he need to say, Tim? Tell me what he needs to say.
Now Trump and Kanye and others have taken the code words away. Nick Fuentes doesn't use any code words.
He just says they're inferior, we're superior, we should control them and lock them up, etc.
And if you guys say, no, the distinction is no, Nazis actually kill the Jews, whereas the anti-Semites and the fascists,
they just fantasize
they just
about it.
encourage others to kill the Jews. I don't know what your distinction is. But me, I don't have a distinction on that. I think Kanye West is a Nazi. So you invite, and then Nick Fuentes is a Nazi. So you invited a couple of Nazis on your show. Tim, when you do that, you're supposed to rip their face off.
To rip their face off. To rip their face off. And he looked genuinely surprised and hurt that Kanye was leaving.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, he said, oh no, my star, the one that's giving me all this attention is leaving. Oh, what if the money leaves with him? Oh my God.
No.
Rip their face off. Oh, you bitch.
100%.
Get man off. No. Do a real goddamn interview, you loser.
No, it is an insult to bitches to call Tim Pool a bitch. I'm just saying, okay? But we can't go a day without hearing from right-wingers defaming innocent people as groomers, as pedophiles, as dangerous individuals, whether we're talking about medical professionals, whether we're talking about educators. It's just endless. It's
just endless, non-stop defamation of innocent people.
Okay.
So, and by the way, if you notice, Tim Pool said when Kanye was referring to Jewish people, he said, I don't use that, I don't use the word. He's like, in other words, I agree with you on the press, I just don't use the word Jewish.
I'm talking about. It is them though, isn't it? I mean, because because when you think about it,
because he's got to have plausible deniability. Anyway, I don't care if Tim Pool's an anti-Semite or not. I don't care.
Because he's got to have plausible deniability.
Okay, and by the way, I don't mind platforming as long as you actually hit him, right?
Rip their face off.
Instead, he comes in, he's like,
oh, the press has been so unfair to you.
You're halfway up the Nazi's ass. Rip their face.
Is that the kind of interview you do? But I want to say one more thing about Kanye. I mean, you want to talk about bitches. So this guy, I mean, Tim Pool's sitting there
slobbering all over you.
And because when you think about it,
but because he wouldn't say the Jews did it, exactly when you demanded that he say it, you walk out, you're that fragile.
Yeah, he is.
This guy walks around pretending to be a tough guy.
Oh, it's the Jews, I'm so strong and brave. Oh, it's the Jews, hate. I'm so strong and masculine.
My ass you are. You're the weakest bitch in America.
You're like, oh my God, I've been offended. Kanye, unbearable.
Unbearable.
I've never been more right than when I said
that Kanye was the dumbest man in America.
You haven't paid your taxes. You haven't paid your taxes. That's not the so-called Jews coming after you. He talks about how, oh, they want to send me to jail. He thinks he claims they want to send him to jail over his comments.
No, yeah, if you don't pay your taxes, ask Wesley Snipes, you go to jail.
Cancel that bitch. I'll buy it now.
Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with the Jews. That has to do with you being a moron and a thief.
Pay your goddamn taxes.
He's like, oh, what? I have to pay taxes like the average man? No, the average man should pay all of his taxes, even though he earns what? 1% of 1% of 1% of what I earn? We should take all that money from him, but I should be above the law and not pay taxes. And if you try to make me pay taxes, it's the Jews.
No, you moron, it's you. I hope you do wind up in jail. Rip their face, hit them.
Goddamn criminal.
Whatever, man. You wanna know why? Look, you're not gonna sit here and you're gonna walk out of the room. You're free to do so, man. But literally I said a couple sentences about, I don't think that's fair. Did I insult the man?
I wanted you to promote your laughable presidential campaign. I want to talk about the news of the day with you. And then maybe later we'll get to that whole anti-Semitic thing. Maybe I'll ask you about that.
It's
look, these guys.
It's so obvious.
Every one of these
ghouls and goblins
telling themselves nonstop. He's like, I don't understand numbers. So they were telling me, you claim you're a genius and you don't understand numbers.
Cenk, he used to think he was more like Malcolm X, but then he found out he's more like MLK.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I got news for you. You're more like a dumbass.
Dumb.
Kanye is dumb. Kanye is dumb.
Okay, get it through your thick skull, Kanye. Everyone around you is an ass kisser who's looking to rob you of your money because they think this is the dumbest guy in America. It's so easy to take money from him, and none of them are Jews. It's all your best friends that are probably robbing you blind because they think this guy's so stupid. He doesn't understand numbers. Go ahead, be more anti-Semitic. Coward, you loser, you idiot.
Kanye is dumb.
mean, okay.
Like,